Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you'd purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be going over a Rolex Datejust 31 with a silver dial, white gold bezel, with a Jubilee style bracelet. Reference number 278274, also with the diamond hour markers. All right, I'll be going over the case, the dial, bezel, the crown, the movements, and the clasp. I'll be trying it on, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of those as we touch on them throughout this video. All right, so at the very beginning, this is an Oyster Perpetual Datejust 31. 31 meaning it is 31 millimeters from finger to thumb, all right, in diameter. All right. It also has that monoblock middle case, entirely in oyster steel, with the screw down case back and the winding crown, also all oyster steel. What is oyster steel? It is the basically Rolex's own combination of steel and other metals to effectively create this super high polished look with exceptional strength in equal measure. All right, so the bezel on here is actually a white gold. It's slightly a different color, a slightly warmer color than that of the surrounding oyster steel. Very hard to see, but it is always in white gold. In this case, the way that you know that is because it is the fluted style bezel. Fluted style bezels used to be made for the practical function of screwing directly onto the front of the case to ensure the waterproofness of the case. But modern advancements have sort of made that, well, I won't say exactly obsolete, but kind of not really needed. And so the fluted bezel sort of maintains that legacy sort of look of old Rolex watches. So it's always there as a reminder that every time you see this fluted style bezel, it is definitely a Rolex, and it's always made in some sort of precious metal. And in this case, it's white gold to match the rest of the watch's overall aesthetic. All right, and while we're talking about aesthetics, the dial is also extremely important. It's right underneath this glare-proofed sapphire crystal with a Cyclops lens directly over the date at the 3 o'clock window, so you can easily read it under that magnification. This dial is a silver sunray finished dial. So as you can see under the lights of this light box, you can see how it works and how it looks. Absolutely stunning and beautiful with the way that it shines. The hour marks on this one are all diamonds, minus the 12 o'clock and the 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock being the date window and 12 o'clock being taken up by the Rolex crown. The 10 other hour marks here are all 18 karat settings, 18 karat white gold settings with round diamonds placed in them for not just the size, but also the height and the regularity of all of those diamonds, so that you get a really good consistent look overall, right? And when it comes to the overall look of this, while it doesn't actually glow in the dark, you can actually see the numbers, or at least you can see the hour marks from any angle because of the way that the light sort of reflects off of and plays within each of these diamond settings. All right, so there's no angle where you cannot see an hour mark. So when it comes to readability, it's excellent. All right, and now when it comes to the overall function, well, it functions as you would expect. All right, simply unwind the crown to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch by turning it clockwise. Once you feel the damping starting to ramp up, that means you've reached the full power reserve for this watch. All right, so no need to wind it anymore. Pull out to the next position, and you can rotate the crown counterclockwise to advance the date. And you can actually do this at any time of the day. It doesn't matter, like older movements require that you have your time set between, well, no later than 6:30 p.m. and no earlier than 8 o'clock a.m. And that's because the mechanism that controls the date is effectively in use during that entire time. Not so with this watch, not so with these newer Datejusts, especially this one, which was actually released at the end of 2020, September 2020. So this is a newer model, obviously newer movement as well, right? And so let me demonstrate. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. You can be really close to midnight, actually, and still set the date as needed, right? And then once you hit midnight, pulling out the crown to the final position, you can actually move the minute hand forward. And note that I just barely grazed midnight and it advanced the date to the next day. So you know that you can actually set the date at any point during the day without, potentially risking damaging the movement or any of the internal parts for doing so. And as always, when you're done, press the crown all the way back in, screw it tightly against the case to ensure that superior water resistance down to 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level. And so again, I've been harping on about this movement. It's the newer 2236 caliber movement. It maintains that plus or minus 2 second per day time differential after casing. So that's extremely accurate. It far surpasses the chronometer certifications required, and it allows for the center, hour, minute, and seconds hands to be functional, as well as the instantaneous date with the rapid setting. And it also has a stop seconds. If you notice, when I was changing the time while having the crown all the way out, the seconds hand has actually stopped. So you can actually set the time accurately, or even precisely, even by adjusting the minute hand, like so. All right, all of that allows you to have all of that working within this very powerful movement. The oscillator in this movement is also a siloxy hairspring in silicon with a very specific type of geometry, patented geometry, and it also has the high performance Paraflex shock absorbers inside. So what does all that mean? That means the siloxy hairspring in silicon is completely impervious to magnetism. You can get really close to a magnet. This won't do anything to affect the timekeeping. The Paraflex shock absorbers effectively makes this, impervious to any sort of bumps or movements. Well, don't throw it off of a canyon, and certainly don't use a jackhammer on it. But for most of our purposes, the shock absorbers will actually allow this watch to keep time. There won't be any weird jolts on the movement by any sort of outside force that could keep the time running erratically. So it'll be keeping time just fine. It also has a bidirectional self-winding perpetual rotor on the inside. You can't see it through the case back here, but let's pretend you can see it. All you really need to do is just wind this watch up to its full 55-hour power reserve, and simply put it on your wrist, wear it throughout the day, and the rotor on the inside will continue to wind the watch as necessary to actually extend it beyond those 55 hours. Now, say you set your watch down, you can pick it back up in about like 2.5 days or so, 2.25 days rather, and you'll be able to keep time just fine. No need to wind the watch, all right? And now while we're here, we can also talk about this bracelet, the frame effectively for this entire case right here. It's a satin brush finish on the outer links with the 3 intermediate links high polish, Jubilee style bracelet, in other words, high polish along the sides there, with brush finishing underneath for very smooth and very nice feeling. Okay, and on these models, the Datejust 31s, we have the concealed folding crown clasp. You may be wondering, well, how do I open this? Because I obviously can't fit my hand all the way through it. I can't get it on my wrist. Well, how do I get it on? Well, all you need to do is just simply lift the top of the crown. Very easy, nice and easy to open. And that allows you to see the inside. And now you know that right here, if this was all precious metals, it would have hallmarks for those metals, but it just says it's made of steel. So this is just an all steel bracelet. And while we're here, I can actually try it on and give you some more of my thoughts as to how it feels and how it wears on the wrist. All right, let me pull my sleeve up. Let's zoom out here. Okay, so on my wrist, a 7.5 to 7.25 inch wrist, I have to wear it a little high up on the wrist in order for it to, stay snug, but it feels pretty comfortable. Extremely comfortable actually with this Jubilee style bracelet. There's plenty of breathing, so I'm not going to be sweating at all if I wear this all day or even all week. Well, I'll certainly be taking it off at night, you know. But when it comes to the overall look, the framing on at least my wrist, I get plenty of bracelet. I think an equal amount of bracelet with the case there. The lug-to-lug distance keeps it, you know, very concise, I'd say, very elegant, because I can see all the diamonds very clearly within that, you know, silver sun ray backdrop. And so all of that working together with the Jubilee style bracelet with all that extra surface area effectively makes this a very, very shiny watch. There's plenty of wrist presence here, not in terms of size, but in terms of, you know, content, the overall aesthetic, the look. And when it comes to the weight, I barely feel it. It's such a small timepiece, and to accomplish so much with something so small is no small feat. Pardon the pun there. And also the counterbalance, the counterweight to the case. This case is already incredibly light. This counterbalance is perfect with this Jubilee style bracelet, so it feels like I'm not really wearing anything. I feel like I'm wearing just maybe a solid bracelet. So the center of gravity right in the center of my wrist, absolutely perfect. And when it comes to the form factor, the very, very thin form factor, this will slide under any suit cuff, any long sleeve so easily. No worries there. Anyone can wear this watch, provided that your wrist is actually, you know, small enough to accommodate it. All right, so that's all I have to say. What do you think about this watch? Do you think that this, you know, is an excellent upgrade to the previous 178274, where perhaps, you know, the hairspring wasn't made of silicon, it was made with, I believe, a parachrome blue hairspring, and, you know, I think the power reserve is essentially the same, so the upgrade here is incremental. But, you know, with every little incremental upgrade, well, especially with the rapid setting of that date, how it is able to be accomplished at any time of the day, that is exceptional work from Rolex, exceptional engineering, rather. And so, you know, any sort of incremental upgrade that you can get in your timepiece, I certainly welcome it. And, you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, be sure to visit our site, jazztime.com, links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.